All right, are you ready?
Well,
Okay.
are we ever ready? Like, are we ever ready to do yoga?
Good question.
Mm-hmm.
And what do you think it is that attracts you to yoga in the first place?
In my case, a very painful back. I was in pain for 16 years. Yeah, 16 years of painful lower back. So the only thing that really made a difference for me was yoga. So it's a friend of mine who is actually now a yoga teacher in Paris, who dragged me to my very first class. And I kept saying no, 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 no. So, but anyway, I couldn't say no anymore. So I went. And that was it. I was hooked. And slowly, slowly, as the months passed by, my pain started to lessen and finally disappeared. And I had gone to chiropractors, doctors, osteopaths, you name them, all of them. And nothing was helping me, really. The pain was still there, constant pain. And I know some people out there can relate to that, because I've met them. And I cured my back with yoga.
Are you still mindful of the reluctant yoga student when you run your classes or work with people?
Yes, yeah. When someone comes for the first time, I can see, I can feel the reluctance or the fear as well of being looked at. But the difference with my classes is that very often I meet them the very first time. It's a one-on-one meeting. It's free. So I can really see what their goals are, what they need. And sometimes I'm very upfront and I tell them that I'm not the right person. It can happen. Or they feel very welcome, and when they come to class, it's only 3 or 4 people. So there is not this fear of being looked at when you're in a whole group, and there is no competition, so you're not looking at the other one, you know, oh, he or she can do that, and I cannot, and look at me. And so that is gone, it's out of the way. So it makes the yoga experience different, very different.
In fact, you try to achieve that sense of difference with your yoga teaching.
Mm-hmm.
What sort of preparation goes into a class? Because most of us picture you just turn up and you tell us to do some things and off we go. There's more to it than that.
Yes, a lot more. Well, the teacher training I've done already really prepared me to be very thorough in the preparation. So a class needs to have different kinds of postures so that the class is balanced. So I prepare. I have something either written or very clear in my mind of what I'm going to do that night. And I always try to choose a theme. So it can be anything from open the lower back, soften the muscles of the thighs, but it can be something like, let's stay in the here and now, be present. That can be something like that. But when people turn up, I can go a totally different way, depending on the needs. So if someone has really a bad back or the shoulders are tight, I might completely change my plan. It will still be very balanced, but I will really look after their needs. That's the first thing. It's about the people, the students who turn up.
In between your public teaching and the one-on-one teaching you do you get time to do yoga yourself?
Oh yeah, yeah. It's a must. It's a must. To be a good, I would say an excellent teacher, the home practice is probably 80% of the teaching, because there is a lot of work to be done on myself. That's what a yoga teacher is about. There is first the work on myself, so I can transmit that or be available to the people turning up for whatever they're looking for. Otherwise, I will not ever be able to pick up on what they need if I haven't done the work myself in the first place. Does it answer the question? Good.
You're teaching now. Have you always wanted to be a teacher? And if not, what was the turning point that led you to choosing to be a yoga teacher?
No, I never imagined me being a yoga teacher, ever. And years ago, a previous teacher of mine in Sydney told me in my ear, while I was in a posture in her class, she came in my back and whispered into my ear, have you ever thought about doing a teacher training? And I turned around and I said, me? Never. Ever. And 3 years later, I was I had stopped my job and I was kind of not knowing where I was in my life and didn't know what to do. And I went on a weekend to Byron Bay, of course, the cradle of yoga in Australia. Went to Byron Bay, went to a class, and here I was in child posture on my mat, the forehead on the mat, and this is it. The light came into my mind. I want to do this. Because I had been a practitioner for many, many years. So that's when I got my answer and made my decision right then.
What is the one thing you would say to someone who is wondering whether yoga is important or not as something to include in their life?
Well, that's a very broad question. I would say, if you're looking for something else than just a workout, if you're looking for something that will work on another level or other levels, so it can be spiritual, emotional, mental, and physical, then yes, yoga may be the answer. If it's just for a workout, no, I wouldn't recommend it. Even though there are a few yoga classes out there that could fit the profile, but not with me. I'm honest here.